Many people will tell you there's no single profile of a child molester. But I think what we have to look at is there's two types of child molesters. There are child molesters like the guy sitting outside a school or outside an arcade who draws the kid in with candy or draws the kid in with showing the kid dirty pictures and then gets the child and violently molests the child. That's one kind. That's not the kind of child molester we're talking about here. What we're talking about are those people, teachers, youth leaders, priests, scout leaders, who work in youth organizations, institutions of trust. And while it's not true in every single case, we pretty much know that most child molesters have these kinds of characteristics. Oftentimes, and again, we have to realize that over 90% of people who molest children, and some statistics show it higher, are males who molest young girls and males who molest young boys. And we also, of course, have the parents who molest their children. We're not talking about those people as well. We're talking about people who molest in the context of an institution. And in these situations, we tend to find that these people are single, unattached persons. These people present a terrific, eager interest in children. They cater to children. They know what children like almost better than the parents who send their children to these institutions know. They present themselves as people who will spend any hour of the day to meet the child's needs. So after the child leaves the scout troop, or after the child leaves the Boys and Girls Club, they come home and they need something, for instance, travel for school supplies, that person will do it for them. So again, what people need to look at is people who are overeager to be around children, people whose homes, when they go into the person's home, they see they have kid games around the house. They have things that children will be attracted to, because the one thing about child molesters is that they know what children want. They have practiced it for years and years and years. And the thing about child molesters is the way they practice it is they go from job to job, attempting to molesting children, then leaving if somebody figures out who they are. And so molesters, while they're not cut out of one cookie cutter, they're people who seek the attention of children. And it's a gut reaction to the extent that nobody can say, yes, that's a child molester, but people have a queasy feeling. When people are interviewed typically after these cases are over, they'll say, you know, I always thought that so-and-so, he always wanted to be around my kid, but I thought he just was being nice about it because my kid never complained. And so, I think the most important thing to take away is you're going to look for people, typically single males, who have a great interest in the child, even coaches who want to do more for the kid. Even after the coaching is over, they want to take the kid out for and there's nothing wrong with this, obviously, because my kids' coaches have done this in the past, want to take the kids out for a dinner afterwards. But you really have to monitor that. You really have to look at that, because when it becomes a pattern and practice in their behavior, then you have to be concerned. And so while, again, most people will be told there's no profile to a child molester, the person that spends a lot of time with your kid, the person that gives presents to your kid, the person that shows up at strange times, like in the early evening, to take your child to a music lesson when you haven't called them, the person who offers to babysit your child from the school, a teacher who wants to have the child come over and do some work on their house and pays them. Those are the types of people that you should at least be concerned about and look closely at, because child molesters disappear into the fabric of the culture they're living in. And so it does take, that's why training is so important to really help identify these people. That's why we have experts in our cases come in to talk about the grooming process, because child molesters know how to groom, and the grooming process is recognizing the grooming process is recognizing the profile of a child molester.